Our second video, where we will solve one-step inequalities. Let's start with one-step inequalities where we just have addition or subtraction. The goal is to get the variable by itself. We're going to do that by undoing adding or subtraction. This is exactly the same as when you solved one-step equations involving adding or subtracting. Here, our equation is x plus 5 is greater than 9. We want to get x by itself, so subtract 5 from both sides. This means that x is greater than 4. Only difference, it might ask you to graph it. So we're going to go and put an open circle at 4, and greater than means we're going to go that direction. Negative 10 is greater than or equal to x minus 8. I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Negative 10 plus 8 is negative 2. Negative 2 is greater than or equal to x. Okay, so to graph that, go to negative 2. I'm going to fill it in because it's or equal to. Now to think about the direction, negative 2 is greater than x. That means that x has to be less than. So my arrow will go this way. Now let's look at one-step equations that involve multiplication or division. I'm dividing this up into two parts because something special happens when we divide or multiply by a negative. So right now, let's look at positives. When we multiply or divide by a positive number, solving inequalities is just like solving equations. 10 is greater than or equal to 2x. I want to solve for x. Okay, so to undo multiplying by 2, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Remember, I'm dividing by a positive. Nothing unusual is going to happen here. So 5 is greater than or equal to x. Let's graph this. I have a filled in circle at 5. 5 is greater than or equal to x. So x has to be smaller. My line goes that direction. Y divided by 3 is less than negative 2. I'm going to get y by itself. Y is divided by 3. Opposite of dividing by 3 is to multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. So y is less than negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Now remember, I specifically said we were going to deal with positive values, but that's what we're multiplying or dividing by. So it's okay to have other negatives. I divided by a positive, or multiplied, by a positive number. So nothing unusual happened. Here, y is less than negative 6. I'm going to give you some chance to practice these. Key thing, in the next couple of problems, you won't be dividing by negative values. Something special happens. So stay tuned and see what happens when we divide or multiply by a negative number.